Mr. Rangarajan, thanks very much for joining us. You're a past master at analyzing budgets. Is this a risky budget? Do you think he's put a lot of money into infrastructure to boost growth? Can he stick to that 4.8% budget deficit, given the amount he's spent on infrastructure and raising only an additional 17,000 crores through taxes?
Well, I think it is possible to do it because the calculations have been made. After all, he has been able to hold the fiscal deficit down to 5.2% of the GDP in the current year. Therefore, the way the revenues and the expenditures have been calculated, I believe, are on conservative and proper basis. And therefore, I expect that the fiscal deficit of 4.8% would be achieved during the next fiscal. I have no doubt about that at all, because the credibility of the finance minister and the credibility of the budget depends very much on achieving this fiscal deficit target, and I'm quite sure that the FM is very much determined to do it. I think it's a very good budget, brilliantly crafted to achieve multiple objectives.
I just wanted to ask you, what would you have liked to see in this budget that you missed, that wasn't there?
Well, I think he has, in a sense, attacked everything. I mean, I think that is why I said multiple objectives. We had fiscal prudence as an important thing, but at the same time, we wanted to stimulate economic growth, and he has provided enough by way of stimulating investment, and also provided some incentive for enlarged savings. Therefore, I think you have all the elements there, and I think it's in that way a complete budget.
Dr. Rangarajan, as the chairperson of the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council, one question to you really is about the food subsidy. An additional outlay of 10,000 crore rupees, many believe, will clearly not be enough to meet the challenge of food subsidy. Are you concerned on that front, sir?
Well, it all depends upon when the food security bill gets kicked in the sense of the full implementation of the bill. It may take some time because the bill is yet to be introduced. In the sense it will have to be discussed. The standing committee has given its recommendations. So it will take some time. Therefore, part of the additional provision is essentially to cover not the whole year, but only part of the year. Therefore, however, it is a demand-driven program, and if additional money is required, it will not be provided. But perhaps what he has done is to take into account when the full implementation will occur.
But on the overall subsidies front, Dr. Rangarajan, would you have expected more in terms of at least trimming subsidies? You're someone who's always argued that India simply cannot afford such a huge subsidy bill. So would you have expected more intent on that front?
No, I think the overall subsidies that have been provided, I have not checked all the numbers yet, but all the overall subsidies provided would be consistent with what we consider to be the appropriate level of fiscal deficit. I think the real question is to look at the total subsidies that require to be provided. And if we feel the subsidy on food security is extremely important, we need to fully provide for it and accordingly cut the other subsidies. Therefore, I would imagine that the calculations have been made in the right way in order to get you the level of subsidies that can still give you the required level of fiscal deficit.